that the little clip of music and video is long enough. Hey, Boomer! Forget everything. We're watching Boomer. This show has now been changed. We are no longer probability of Demise. We are probability of Boomer time.
Boo, boo, Boomer!
I was still on mute.
Yes, you were, but we got to see Boomer.
I'm going to unmute everyone because everyone's unmuted.
Do you think that that opening audio sequence and little video clip is long enough for the streaming to catch up, or am I just pretending for myself? Welcome to Probability of Demise. We are get started. Hello, everybody. I'm Rurik, and you're listening to Probability of Demise. We're a group of storytellers who use Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition to provide rules and structure to Atland, a world of our own making. Atland exists on a version of Earth thousands of years into the future, an octopolar planet whose residents barely remember the natural and man-made disasters that once left their world nearly uninhabitable. This is a world far different from the one you know today, a world of new magics and ancient spells, young gods and primordial deities. Thank you for coming as we explore this world together. I am so excited to introduce our cast and our guest. If you remember last time, I'm going to start off with our ANDYFAN. Andy, would you introduce yourself and your character?
I am the ANDYFAN, and my character is a dragonborn named Veritar.
And I think
we don't even have to hide your character for the first 40 minutes this time.
We don't.
No, we can just be completely open now. Yes. And if those of you who maybe didn't tune in last time, or you did tune in, Veritar is a dragonborn. And I don't think I'm going to say much more than that because I don't know how many people figured out your class. But I think our crew did. We figured this out, right?
Sorcerer, yes.
You all figured it out. Okay.
Yes.
I kind of like those gentle reveals when people get to reveal what their character is about.
Yep.
I called mage and then I was wrong and it was sorcerer.
But you were close. You had the magic down.
It was the cloth clothing that gave you away. I was like, oh, it's some kind of
he's squishy.
He's squishy.
Or am I? I am. I'm squishy.
I mean, you're still a dragonborn.
Me too.
Yeah. Natural skill armor there.
Yep.
So let's go with Jess. Go ahead.
For word of the day, right?
No, introduce yourself.
Oh, I was like, wait.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Are you?
All right. Hi, friends. I'm Jessica, and I am playing Tanzanite, the very tall, beautiful, kind of working on her classism. That elf,
AKA Goddess of Death.
goddess of death.
And with our cleric introduced, Jason, Larissa, who wants to go first? Rochambeau.
You go ahead. I'm actually fixing something on the.
Okay. Hi, I'm Larissa. I play Trixie, who, if you are imagining things in the theater of your mind, she is a small anthropomorphic
See, no one can talk today.
red squirrel. And I'm a monk. I like to hit stuff.
I like to hit stuff. Down.
Hit it.
Hit it with that big shovel.
Yeah.
Jason.
Sorry.
I am.
I didn't realize it would make that much noise.
all the Foley noises today.
I'm nobody. I've been drowned out. I'll be quiet. I'm sorry. I'm Jason. I play Asher, who is Really?
What's happening?
Really?
What's
Foley
going on?
artists.
I'm done. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
I am Jason, and I play Asher. Is anybody gonna interrupt me again?
I had to take my turn. Everybody else got an option.
All right,
Andy, you're next.
Go,
So
Andy.
I play Asher, and
I'm a dragonborn sorcerer.
Yep.
Now you know what it's like to just get picked on continually.
I am the lead of this group, and everyone bows down before me and does everything that I say.
Chief cat herder.
We're not
Jason,
worthy.
Asher.
We're not worthy.
No, Asher is a poet, bard poet, and a little bit of a gunslinger, and likes to roll really high and irritate Rurik on charisma rolls. The end.
And oddly enough, I feel like the mashup is perfect because, and this is a DM thing for any DMs out there who are having this. You have players who play against type, like they have a thing that they want to do, and so they play a character that's opposite of them, and so then they don't engage with all of the unique features of that character class. Jason, in the previous game we played, went against type and played a different type of character, but Jason wants to like convince people to do things, and now that he's a bard, he is just wrecking up the points. So it just makes
I do miss
me
my
smile.
monk though. Trixie makes me miss my monk.
I mean, as I'm sure Larissa can say, monks are a blast in certain circumstances.
I'm
Yeah. They're not universally efficient, but
What?
They
They're
have
not.
moments.
No, monks
They're
are
not.
perfect.
I feel like I'm just drawn to like new like class subtypes, like because I did the Way of the Drunken Master for my monk, which was new at the time, and then and now I'm doing the Creation Bard, which is new.
you're not afraid to into
I'm
the
not-
unknown.
That's the
I'm
fun
not.
of
I'm not
D&D.
afraid to completely abuse my power because nobody knows the rules I'm supposed to play by.
I'm trying to understand if that's truly an abuse of power or if it's just wonderful. So we're going to jump into stuff in a moment, but first we do have some announcements. First off, and I will announce this at the end of our time as well, if I can remember, we will be adjusting our live schedule. October 5th, we are going to have a special one-shot Wednesday night utilizing a different system. We're going to utilize Kids on Bikes. If you've not heard of it, check into it. It's really fun. It's also a little bit less unwieldy for folks who are new to tabletop RPGs. And so in my personal world, I'm hoping that playing that kind of excites people to try out a tabletop RPG who may be just passively watching, or it's a really fun thing to do with your kids if you're a family and you're like, hey, I want to involve my kids in these storytelling role play things. And we will be running that Wednesday, October 5th, so off schedule, at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central Time, and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Mountain Time, I'll get to you one day. And this is the night before New York Comic Con. So we're going to kind of like do a hurrah, and then my friends who are in New York City are going to go play in Comic Con, and I'm going to jealously look at their social media that they won't be posting to because they're too busy having fun. And after that, we will begin our winter schedules on Sundays. Now, we won't start until October 16th, just because I'm moving and there's a lot of other moving parts, Comic-Con. And we will kick off October 16th and hopefully fill your Sunday afternoons every week.
With
So-
chaos.
I'll be there.
A lot of
we'll be
chaos.
12 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, and again,
1 p.m. Mountain.
Mountain Time. We'll get around to you.
Nice.
We got somebody who might be temporarily relocating. To
Might
that
be.
time zone.
It is not might. No might is. Is.
But it's temporary, hopefully. Right?
It is temporary,
Yeah.
but it is not might.
Look on your face. Yeah, it's temporary.
I don't know why I'm 1%ing. I don't know why.
Yeah, let's
I
not put
don't-
in the universe
I
that
don't
I'm
know why
staying
that
there.
tickles me as much as it does, but oh my god.
I mean, someone's staying there.
Larissa, do you have any announcements for us?
Good one.
What is going on today?
I was trying to give my. I'm trying to stall.
Okay, good. Nice move. That was good. I'll use that later in the future. Chianti goes well with human.
I mean, I guess I could start advertising now. So Stonewall Corral will be having their winter concert
Starring Jason McDowell.
Woo!
Not really.
On December 6th, I believe it is. It is a Friday, which is new. Usually we have, oh, sorry, I lied. It's the 2nd, Friday, December 2nd. Normally our concerts are on Saturdays, but we, the venue that we normally perform at just didn't have that available this time. So we're still at the same venue, Church of the Holy Apostles, which is on 9th Avenue and 28th Street. It'll be December 2nd at 7:30 p.m. It'll be, it's called Oh What Fun, and it's going to be featuring your classic holiday jingles, including jingle bells and all that. There's a great medley called Seasonal Sounds. I'm excited to do that. Also be featuring some Hebrew songs. I'm trying to think of what else. Some really great.
It's basically like a 4 holiday. It's like Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. What's the other one? There's 4.
I can't remember
the 4th one. But yeah, it's like a December holiday.
Yeah.
Is it
Extravaganza. So
Is
Yule
Diwali
or
this year in
something?
December, or is Diwali earlier in the fall?
Not
I
sure.
don't know, but that's definitely not the 4th holiday.
And then Melodia's concert will actually be earlier. Kitty.
So
Melodia's
pretty.
concert will be in November. I actually can't remember the date, but as we get closer, I will definitely share that. And we're doing a lot of fun music. It's going to be interesting. A lot of it, the program is going to kind of bring you through the transition from summer to fall to winter. So
WD-40. So you're getting.
please sponsor us.
Please sponsor us. Jess needs a new chair, really bad.
Look, I'm hoping to get a
Secret
new
lab.
office
We need a
chair.
secret lab.
Like,
Secret lab sponsorship.
oh, my
I would love a Secret Lab sponsorship. Or your Secret Lab.
Oh,
When I put this on TikTok and tag them, maybe they'll sponsor us.
that
Secret
was-
lab, please sponsor us.
or forget
We
sponsor,
already-
just rescue us.
We already sport you.
Yeah,
So-
we'll give out like an ad deal for free chairs. Like we'll give you so many. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You mean a
definitely.
free ad for chairs?
We'll run
Brands,
free chairs.
your code or whatever. for
We'll take a
whoever.
barter sponsorship. We're fine with that.
But yeah, so that's the 2 upcoming concerts that at least I'm involved in. We also have a Halloween party that'll be happening on October 29th. So if you're in the New York City area and you don't have Halloween plans, it'll be a show. There's going to be drag. There's going to be singing. There's going to be nosh. There's going to be alcohol. So let me know.
It's a
Comment.
Wait, what are those dates? I didn't know this.
The Halloween
I want
party.
to go.
The Halloween
Yeah.
party. It's on Saturday, October 29th. So it's the Saturday before
Nice.
Halloween.
So
And I
you
believe-
may or may not be here.
No,
Ooh.
it's just November 2nd, right? You said rehearsals start?
Yeah,
so
but I don't know
if
when
you
I'm flying out.
Like
I guess they might fly you out the weekend before, but my guess is they probably
If you
fly
want to
you
come
out
meet
that
us, Jessica may be.
Yeah, yeah.
hey, listen, if you come to any of these events and you found them through this podcast, please come up and say something to us.
Yes.
We would love that
Also,
so much.
if you wanna come, if you're local and you're listening to this, I will buy you a ticket if you want to come. So I'm
We're
putting
at
that out
that-
there.
We're at that early stage of sharing fun things and stories where we actually seek out the fans. We want you to stream snipe us.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna modify that. We'll buy the first 5 tickets.
Yeah.
If 300 people come rolling up, like, hey, you said,
So here's the thing. It doesn't have that capacity, so that wouldn't be an issue. I think capacity is like 80 people, maybe 90. So, and all of the members have to buy a ticket that are attending, and then there's going to be family and friends. So let me put it this way: tickets are limited in that respect, but so
I
maybe
just
first
love
come first
how
serve kind of thing. But
our couple is currently doing the like Negotiations.
Walk it back. Walk it back. Walk it back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's great. I love
Anyways,
it. It
those are my announcements.
makes me want to have kids.
Random.
Okay. The next stage of our sequence of events is the word of the day.
Word of the day.
Word
I
of
really
the
need that.
day.
Boop, boop. There it goes. Thank you.
All right. The word of the day is picadillo.
Ooh.
It means a small mistake or fault that is not regarded as very bad or serious.
Having an Andy fan is a picadillo.
No, Andy.
However, I think this goes in the category of Mead but it has to be like a truly fits natural, well used character moment. So like don't do what Andy did last time, but yes, if you use picadillo, then you
Isn't
will
picadillo like a
Picadillo?
food?
No.
Like it's like a Latin food, picadillo. I think it is.
Maybe it's probably spelled differently. When I first saw it, I was like, no, that's a train station in London. I was like, wait, no, it's not. It's spelled
Okay, I'm
differently.
gonna Google this now.
So yeah, so there is.
Okay.
It is a food.
There's a
Traditional
food
dish,
and
many
a-
Latin American countries, Philippines, made with ground meat, tomatoes,
And that's PIC.
raisins.
PICA. And your Jess's word is PECC. Okay.
Well, I love it. Raisins? There's raisins in picadillo sauce?
Picadillo, picadillo. Say
Oh,
that
And
together.
Picadillo.
raisins and olives together, which like my brain goes, huh? But
yeah,
I'd
that
try
doesn't
it.
sound good.
But
It's
I'd
I
really
would
good.
try it.
They put
Olives
raisins
and
in like
raisins
chicken
grow-
curry dishes, like
That's
a
true.
cold.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you know where raisins don't belong?
And cookies.
Pizza.
In between your toes.
Salads.
your ears.
potato salad.
What?
Hear that?
What kind of monster does that?
Palm-colored
Yeah.
people.
I was like, how do I
Dude.
say
Palm
this?
covered.
Palm-colored people do.
I'm gonna have to check in with a couple of palm-colored people that I have in my life and say, "Hey, do you put raisins in your salad?" I feel like this is like
Stop.
This is fake news, right? This has got to
No.
It is. You know how that it is one of our stereotypes. Apparently, it's one of our offensive stereotypes.
Wow.
Unfortunately, it did come from truth, though.
Yes, as most stereotypes do, but like, no need to
And-
perpetuate. But yes,
Normally, at this point, we would roll for commercial, but we have an ANDYFAN who were put up on the auction block.
I'm an anti-fan. I will take this podcast down.
We have an ANDYFAN who put himself up on the I'm gonna say butcher
Proverbial
block, but that's
chopping
not right.
block.
Chopping block.
chopping block.
Chopping block. Thank you. Suddenly, I went to IKEA and bought a butcher block tabletop for my desk, and now that's how we're gonna do it. So, at our break, Andy has our commercial, and are you going to be reading it, or do you want us to roll for the reader?
I can read it.
Oh, thank God.
Awesome. So that means we are to the point of rolling for who gets to recap.
God.
This is what. Oh boy.
See, I was prepared last week, and I had thought through everything. I'm not prepared this week.
Okay, Andy's immune because he
Yeah.
volunteered.
He is immune. as
It's the
commercial
lowest
reader.
roll?
I volunteer as tribute.
This was his plan all along. He was playing the long
That's
game.
it.
Okay.
I have time to prep. Good luck to you all.
I got an 11.
16.
Rick?
I'm just waiting for you to roll. I have to get my dice out. I'm pulling a Jess.
Rick,
Yeah.
roll.
I want you to roll.
No, I already rolled. Roll.
I want you to tell me.
No, I'm not
Do
going
I
to
get
tell
a
you until
plus
you.
12 as a DM?
How about like a +1?
I would give you. I would
With a
give you.
plus 1, I
Rook-
got 8.
Rook
would-
just
I
gave
would
themselves
say-
DM inspiration.
I was going to say I would give you advantage.
I'll give you. Okay, I think
rolled a
that.
We'll give you
7.
advantage. I'll give even with advantage.
Roll again. You get advantage as DM.
One more chance.
No, 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 nope. That didn't happen, and that dice is in jail. That was going to be.
This is good because you were going to use this for the campaign,
Yeah,
right? So now
roll that one out right
was
now.
we did you
Yeah,
a favor.
I can use you because you can't. Tell. Good job.
So
Nice,
go.
nice.
Okay.
Are you gonna say your numbers or are you
Yeah,
just
I
gonna...
got a 13.
Oh, I would have failed no matter what.
We tried to. We gave you we gave like I can't even say benefit of the doubt. We gave you advantage.
No,
What was your
it's
first
good.
one?
7.
My first one was a 7.
Okay, you lose.
You know that it's legit. It's a legit fail.
Tell us,
I'm a
Rick, what
loser,
happened?
baby. Okay, so last time when we were gathered together, we started off our brand new season with a trip of our 4 main protagonists and a few hangers on across the oceans and across Atlant to a small island off in the western regions. There, for a variety of reasons, some with an interest in establishing magical travel connections, some with an interest in reaching out to the faithful and or potential allies within other communities of faith, as well as one major important goal that a certain young squirrel folk had: getting a new shovel.
Everybody has their priorities.
Our crew arrived, collected some materials in the what turned out to be kind of an underground bazaar, made their way to a I think it was it was Trixie made their way to the smithy, a magical smithy that used a very interesting and unique technique involving multiple levers and these apparently magnetic floating tools that shaped and reshaped some very special metals.
And
on
on
the
her way,
way
she
there-
almost reclassed to...
on the way there.
Oh, you mean re-subclassed?
No, yeah, you're to the way of the drunken squirrel.
The way of the drunken squirrel. On the way there, Trixie ran into our new found compatriot
Collaborator?
in the battles of random things, Veritor. A quick drink and a bit of sloshiness later, Veritor departed ways and headed down through the bazaar. Meanwhile, Trixie and Jill, the smith, the one currently working there, attempted through a slightly fuzzy phase and haze to craft the implement that Trixie had been seeking to have, and actually had the stave that would eventually attach to this tool. And where Veritor ran into Tanzanite and Asher just after they had finished negotiating for some baubles. And the jeweler is currently working on something for Tanzanite as well, so don't forget that. Asher, I don't believe you have anything up in the air in terms of crafting going on for you, but you did
I
pick
was
up a couple
looking
of things.
for... Oh, I was going to the same vendor to look for a new gun. That was my...
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to fix the portal.
Yep. And finally, Veritor run into the two of them as they're coming up and picking up his own bauble that he had ordered, discovered that one of these individuals apparently knew a lot about something he was very interested in, and proceeded to invite them to a drink.
After attempting to intimidate.
Yes,
Not
well,
attempting.
I succeeded.
Oh, right. I forgot. Use a
and
feared.
drawing the two of them along. And just as they were starting to get into the meat of a conversation, there was an eruption from within the center square, the Mead hall being right across from the smithy. Trixie was able to, a little bit more easily, stumble out the door and help the now quartet defend the citizenry from a series of these enormous insectoid-esque creatures that seem to mesmerize their prey before devouring them. In the aftermath of this battle, where it was discovered that Veritor was a bit of a sorcerer, and other people's skills came into play in various ways, they are covered in gore. Corpses lay about. There's a gaping hole in the floor of the square, and the guards folk are cautiously approaching both the quartet of defenders as well as the gaping space beneath. The four of you stand there. The mead hall sits open with the proprietor kind of shaken but already coming forward with a quartet of small thimbles of glasses to you to offer as thanks. The guards are also approaching you, looking serious but pleased. They don't have expressions of any sort of negative connotation that you could at a quick glance see. And with that, and that recap.
1 second. Hi, Nick. Nick's watching on Facebook. Zuchi.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, buddy.
So, what are the four of you up to?
So the guards are like walking up to us.
Yeah.
Okay. I will just.
And just behind you is the proprietor or bartender of the drinking establishment.
First, I'm gonna go look in the hole in the ground and make sure that there's no more coming.
Go ahead, and the guard almost seems to like fall in. One of the guards falls in with you, and as you approach it, you can hear them say as you go over, it's like, "Are you gonna go down there?" And you feel his hand on your shoulder, and it's the type of hand is like questioning and almost.
And then he shoves me in the hole.
A little bit of that
Oh my God,
parental protectiveness of like he's got enough of a grip on your shoulder to pull you back should you choose to jump in.
Like, no,
but
I don't think so. I'm gonna look at like my friends and at Veritor. Like, I don't think we're going down there. Are we going down there? It wasn't on my list of things to do today.
I take a second and I just kind of like very, very not grandly, but like it's not as small. I'm like literally just trying to shake everything off that I can. So I don't know where it's flying, who it's hitting.
There's a quick sidestep all around you as the guards move. They have quick reactions. The bartender, however, does not. And you can, anybody who is looking can see their face fall a bit as they look at the glasses, and then they turn and they walk back to the bar to replace the drinks.
Like, and I'm gonna say, I don't. And I point back to the smithy.
Just as you point back to the smithy, you hear, "Trixie, it's amazing!" And Jill is peeking out of the smithy door, waving to you, trying to get your attention.
I'm going to say, no, I don't plan on going down there.
Okay.
I'm going to look for a glass of water, and I'm going to use shape water to have it start flowing around me to clean the gore and the gunk off. And I'll use prestidigitation to start cleaning Trixie off.
You don't have to do that. Don't worry. That's not how the spell actually does.
I know.
But it would be funny if like we come from two different halves of the world and we both go like, oh, I know that. I know the eat spell. Do you know the eat spell?
Right.
I rolled a 22 on my perception check.
Awesome. So looking down, you don't see any sign of additional creatures, but you can make out with a 22 especially the shape and spacing of this depression in the space. And you can tell it goes on for quite a ways. What happened to the rubble of their excavations leaves room to have concern that there are other creatures that must have trucked the rubble somewhere, because there's no way it just disappeared, at least not without some magical means. So there is a bit of concern that this is not a once-off incursion, but that there are more at some place.
Okay.
So as you...
I was really trying to focus on that, but I kept hearing beep, 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 beep.
I'm sorry, that's my fault. I forgot that the air conditioner was on fan and not cool, and I'm like schwitzing, so I'm just trying to.
Yeah. So yes, as you peer down there, you can see that the tunnel has been excavated, but the material that should remain, or that there should be a blockage as the material that was excavated was put behind them. There is no such thing. The distance of this, and with human sight, you are limited in the distance because it just becomes dark after a while. But there doesn't appear to be a place where rubble was placed. So that means something took the rubble away.
So they've been like actively, like it wasn't just like something boring through, like they were actively like digging to get here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna turn to the guard and be like, hey, so this isn't like a random attack. It looks like they have strived to, dig a actual tunnel into your town. Like I think you were just attacked.
You hear a sigh from your other side, and this slightly more gruff-looking, older individual, long beard, sighs, and yeah, you have a point. All right, let's station some folks here, and maybe we shut down the square for right now.
I can collapse this tunnel, but they're just going to dig it out again. I don't know if you'd rather leave it open so you can hear them coming.
Let's leave it as it is, but you did offer. Would you be at all willing to speak with our council really quick?
Sure.
You already did us a service. You don't need to, but stranger, this is we've been having issues with sinkholes throughout the caverns, and this might be the cause.
Seems likely. Sure, I'll talk to them.
All right, I'll get back to you in a second. Let me get set up. Apparently, get yourself a drink, and you can see again the bartenders come up with another tray, clean glasses, and they've cleaned themselves a bit patchily, and they're coming up again with a tray, and this time they're like really skirting far around Trixie. They are giving her a wide berth.
I'll go over and double up on the prestidigitation on Trixie and get her all.
She's just now like a big cotton ball.
And then myself. I think I also had some goo on myself. Then myself after that.
Everybody had goo on them because the last one.
In the end, Tanzanite is the only one still covered in goo.
I will also de-goo Tanzanite.
How do you react to that?
Me?
Being the final one still covered in goo.
Oh, she's
Even
pissed.
The waiter got de-gooed.
He goes to a nearby chair and just sits and pouts.
So you all hear the sitting of the chair. Fully, artist, please.
What does that sound like?
Oh, yeah.
And then there's also a little bit of a as it squelches.
I'm gonna go over there and be like, "Do you need some help with the goo?"
I just want my tiara in a shower.
Is there water nearby her?
Slowly, you see her start being prestidigitated.
Just on my hand.
You still have the water that you shaped before. So
I will flow that over to her and begin to, almost like a shower,
So
rolling it down her. It's just
you
scooping
get
stuff
sort of a
out.
cyclical showering of everything, and I don't. How do you?
I guess
mean,
I'll
you
just
kinda
follow
got-
that and prestidigitate her dry as it washes her off.
You're getting car washed.
Basically.
She's just too confused to do anything. She's just like,
What the hell?
like.
I'm actually going to stop adventuring,
'Cause-
and Barator and I are going to open a car wash business.
because I also
Welcome
think
to the car wash. Woo!
Airship wash.
airship walk.
I'm also pretty sure. Let me look at this before I say this because I might be lying. I think I have control water as well. So Tanzanite's just like, wait, I could have done this the whole time.
Yeah, I could just see like the little cartoon pop-up bubble as they're both doing this, and Tanzanite's forgetting the embarrassment of all this is happening.
I have
that-
walk water.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Okay, so Trixie, Jill is waving to you and trying to get your attention.
Let's go. Ooh, ooh, I'll be right back. And I pew.
Yeah, as Trixie disappears, you're all unaware, but just taking a moment with Trixie. So the three of you can think about what you might be doing in this space and time. Trixie, Jill beckons you into the smithy. It finished in the most unexpected way. And then she points to the center of where all those magnets were, and you can see that still forming metal is formed. And it's intricate. It has designs. You see a place where there's a little tiny acorn cap that would be exactly where it would connect and attach to your stave, with a needle, small but almost impossibly structurally tough bit that would actually be part of the insertion of that little acorn cap into your stave. Some crazy circumstance created the perfect way to join the two materials in a new way that's not part of typical smithing. The blade is sharp but blunt. One side has a sharpness to it that is almost startling, and it just seems to be glowing there in that space in this moment.
It's perfect. How?
When we ran out, we pulled, and you can see her pointing at all the levers. All the levers kind of just, as you both ran out to the noises, are all pulled straight down. And by some mysterious circumstances, that was the last and final thing needed to create this bit of material. Let's put it together.
Yeah. And I almost hit her, pulling my out of just like pure excitement. I just like zero in, and I like she could probably feel like her hair like as I pull it out. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. And she's way too excited as well. And she's just trying to assist, and you see her pull a bunch of leather strapping, and then she kind of just stares at it and goes, I don't know if this is needed, but it could look pretty.
Yeah, well, maybe just to like to keep it together until it kind of like, do we have to like, should we like glue it, or I don't know.
Just a moment. And she kind of like ushers you to the center of the space where you were smithing. And says, I'm only going to turn it on to low. And before you can even say anything, she reaches over and pulls two levers, and all those little blocks of metal that had been circling around your creation as you pulled various levers, they all seem to lift and create a perfect circle around you all. This is kind of a trick that I learned, and you can feel the metal almost meld into the wooden shaft and bond. And then as she starts wrapping leather, you can see the leather almost become a part of both the wood and the metal.
Shut up. That is so cool.
Yeah, this is all pretty new. I've only had 4 years to practice, but The first year they wouldn't let me touch anything, and now this is I don't know if I was supposed to do it this way. I might be in trouble. And you can see like the sudden.
Well, is there anything I can do to help? I mean, it was my request, so if you need me to like back you up.
No, we're not supposed to abandon a project because dangerous things can happen, and we abandoned a project when we ran out.
I think they could understand the circumstances. Kind of like a.
She holds up a pinky.
We're just not going to tell?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I love
It's the best
secrets.
thing I've ever had.
I love secrets. Okay.
She grabs your pinky and really tight, like it's almost painfully tight, but then you reciprocate, I'm sure.
Well, and I take, and then because I know what a pinky promise is, but we do it differently. The rest of my fingers go up and they go, and I say that.
She starts giggling. She can't help it. She just immediate response is starting to giggle.
Sorry, that's what we do. That's sorry.
Okay, and then she puts up her pinky again, squeezes yours.
It's good,
and
right?
starts giggling again. She's just
I'm glad to know the
She's a
pinky swear
young
survived the apocalypse.
magical smithy, and this is just she's responsive to these types of things very easily. But yes, you now have your desired weapon. You can cast Identify on it to find out more. And I think one of the things that Jill says to you is that sometimes things like this that seem to be even better just need to be held on to for a bit and studied to truly unlock all that they're capable of. In D&D terms, this is you're going to have to tune to it to get the full effect. In other terms, there might be more that you could unlock depending on what exactly you do with the toy.
Okay.
You
should-
have a
You should
very
cuddle with it when you
rare
sleep.
thing. Very rare. Okay. And that is in your inventory. But
I'll name it. I'll name it once I use it in battle.
okay. The other thing that I'll say to you is if you look at its current stats, and then after you go to tune it, you might be pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I don't know if you're going to try to sit there in that moment and try to attune to it, or if you're going to go back out to your friends.
I better check in with them. It sounded like one of them was going to go talk to somebody, and I ran off the other time, but it's really not something I should do, so I should probably get back. But it was so nice to meet you, and this is amazing. And if they ever need anything, I know exactly who to send them to.
Oh, please do, and I would love to work with you again. That was super fun. And even as she's saying that, she's distracted, and you can see her casting just a little minor illusion spell that's an exact replica of your blade, and then pulling out a sketchbook and immediately trying to draw. It's like she needed to create a visual for herself to sketch out the bladed piece, and just you can see that she's documenting her own work. All right. So the other three of you, it's been about 20 minutes to half an hour, probably half an hour of Trixie being gone. What have you been up to in that half an hour?
So Tiamat.
Here's a mix for you on Amazon Music.
What?
Apparently,
Who's that? Was that one of ours?
Evil dragon.
It wasn't mine. It had to have been yours.
It's now
Alexa, stop.
I mean,
Apparently,
like
saying
that's
the
a
word
real
Tiamat
sign.
makes her play music. I don't know what that was.
So Amazon, if you want to sponsor,
No,
no.
Dragon God sponsor?
Nope. Fuck Jeff Bezos. Nope.
Okay, what were you saying? Asher was saying something, which
So I was like, so Tiamat, We don't know much. We were with an acquaintance of ours who found a crystal, and the crystal was apparently a lock that was holding Tiamat at bay, and the crystal sort of took that guy over, and a few miles away from where we were at the time, Tiamat exploded out of a mountain. I also know Tiamat is like an arch enemy of Elmadrad, or I think going by Bahamut these days. And that particular dragon is like a protector of the place we're from. But yeah, I think we don't know much more than that.
And I will look at Tanzanite and channeling all my charisma to persuade her to persuade, not intimidate, would say, I think you know more than that. That is a 16.
We'll just use
persuasion
regular, but yes, Tanzanite, he is trying all of his, rather than making this a PvP situation, he is using all of his charisma, his considerable charisma, honestly, to convince you to share.
Schmooze you.
He can schmooze all he would like, because Tanzanite doesn't know more than that.
Oh.
At least Jessica doesn't know if Tanzanite knows more.
So Tanzanite, why don't you roll a history check?
Okay.
You hide some things in the cave at GodCon.
Okay. History. Oh, I gotta think. Is that from...
No, it's just me.
Oh, I was like, is that from the game? Where? Skills. History. Oh, that's a whole 14.
Yeah, that's actually plenty, given especially
okay.
where you're rolling all the different things. You have a moment of confusion, and that's kind of like what stops you for a second, because Asher was talking about Tiamat, and then Asher also had mentioned Bahamut, which you know him under a different name, but you don't really know him under either of those names. You just remember that he claimed to be Zymor, bringer of justice, and you just have this moment of consideration, thinking like, that's Bahamut. I don't know that other name, but is this person interested in the Grandmaster of Flowers? Because as you've been finding, all of these gods are under multiple names. They seem to take different names on, and one that that Bahamut had given you at one point was the Grandmaster of Flowers, and it sticks in your head, because why wouldn't someone who is apparently super powerful and also has revealed that they are a dragon, why wouldn't it be fun to have someone naming themselves as the Grandmaster of Flowers? You having those kind of triggers about who this individual is, you realize that Bahamut is very interested in justice, and kind of expose you to the idea of dragons who did good, a dragon of wisdom and justice, and they seemed to support the idea of death as part of the process of the world, and it didn't seem in some of the arguments to be against you. But you also noticed that he was often cloistered with other gods that weren't part of your small group that you were growing, and you know where he is because he told you he would meet you here if things worked out.
Do I know what things are?
I think that he wouldn't have revealed that stuff.
Okay.
But you can go ahead and roll a retroactive insight check to see if you had kind of figured out some of those things.
Cool. Okay, so for my brain.
Yeah.
Bahamut I know him as Zamor. Zymor?
Yeah.
Okay.
He gave
Bringer
you a bunch of different titles.
Yeah.
And
Bringer
that
of
one-
Justice, also known as the Grand Master of Flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. Amazing. But I also know that you're asking about Tiamat. So I don't necessarily know much about Tiamat. Is that right?
Yeah, you don't know that, but you do have this because of what Asher had said and linking Tiamat to Bahamut and Bahamut in your head linking to Zymor.
All those other things.
You have a wealth of knowledge that makes sense, possibly.
Yeah. Okay. I know of Bahamut, but I know him of different names. I don't know too much about Tiamat.
Tell me what you know of Bahamut, please.
Well, I know him as Zamor, and he gave me, many names, but, I always thought the fact that he said the Grand Master of Flowers was amusing. He was the one who introduced me to dragons as good and not bad, and one that, wants to bring wisdom and justice for us. Yeah, that's sort of it.
Thank you.
I also do know that he may be coming here.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
If so, may I accompany you?
I guess I could be the one to make introductions. I don't see that would be a problem.
I don't think you'd have to introduce me.
Oh. Well, if you're already acquainted, then of course you can come with me.
You're not gonna fight, are you?
Oh, good question. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But I do have many questions.
Fair. All right. I need to go talk to this blacksmith, and then I need to talk to the town council. Do we want to do all of that together, or do we want to split up?
I'm just happy to be here.
You're not here, though.
Wait. No. Did I not come in at this point?
Yeah.
By the end of this?
They're kind of getting caught up to the half hour of you working with Jill right now. So just
No, you're not here.
a moment, if you don't mind. I want to find
sorry,
out what
I forgot.
Asher wants to get up to before.
Sorry.
Real fast. Do I know if he's coming to this town? Do I know when and where?
No.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So those are all great things, Asher. I have no idea when he will actually be getting here, so I'm sure we have plenty of time to go do whatever we may need.
Okay. I also need to fix the portal. Don't let me leave here without fixing the portal, because it's the whole reason I came here.
Yeah. Well, I also need my tiara, so.
Okay.
I'll accompany you. For now, you've proven yourselves great fighters and worthy friends.
Oh, well, thanks.
So I think what I'll have happen here, just for the brevity of storyline and bringing you back all together, is Asher leads the other two back towards the blacksmith, and as you're about to exit the door, they're about to enter the door.
And we all crash into each other and fall on the ground. Big dog pile.
And the door opens.
Jess, the door opens.
The door opens.
Oh, that's sad. That was a sad one.
It's more the face you made when you went to do it. Like,
It sounded like something
Yeah.
had happened. You didn't
Yeah, the face you made it way more like a fart noise than a door noise.
It did.
So you pile in through the door just as Tanzanite's turning to leave. Jill is there with an illusory version of something that is in Trixie's hand right now.
ow.
Writing something down. The space is yours. What's going on?
I
Hello.
think she hit her funny bone.
No, I got my
Oh.
booster yesterday.
Oh.
Wait, how did you qualify for your booster?
For the new one, everybody over 12 qualifies.
Yeah.
The new
Yep.
bivalent. Yeah.
As long as you didn't have your second shot within the last 2 months, you can get the new one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just made an appointment on CVS, but I got booster in this one and flu shot in this one last night. So I'm alive.
All right, sorry. I just got really excited. Sorry.
No,
Continue.
it's okay. Okay. Get your booster. Get vaccinated.
Asher.
Hold up.
I'm gonna go to. Hey, nice new, not quite shovel.
I liked the shovel.
I know.
Ugh.
I know, but it was and it was broken. Like it wasn't gonna work anymore.
Quite
It was-
impressive.
It was one good thwack away. Thwack. Maybe. From breaking.
Mm.
So it was on its last limb.
Thwack.
Wah. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
The last
don't-
thwack.
Yes.
That's the name of my autobiography.
Or mine.
Yeah, yours.
That
What
is
happened
quite
to-
impressive, little one.
Oh, there's more people. Oh, just let me put this away. And you see Jill immediately start closing up her book, and the illusion just. Yes. How can I help? Oh, you've been here. I recognize.
I'm expecting
you-
a tiara.
No. This
Not
is a
from
smithy.
Isn't? Oh, ignore me.
Wrong place.
Okay. But this is Jill, and Jill made this. So
Oh, we made it together. It was collaborative.
that was I think I remember most of it. That was fun.
It was certainly athletic.
Why does it smell like burnt fur?
It was extremely athletic.
That's me. I forgot about that.
Sorry, I could hear you in my microphone. Had to shut the door.
All right, so yeah, you the Asher, really, this is the stage is yours for what you want
Okay.
from this.
So I'm gonna take out my gun and then flip it open, unload it, and then hand it over to her and be like, I need one of
Jill
these. Maybe one that
Just looked
does more
excited.
damage or does
Oh,
like this one's cool, but I've had it a while and it has this Grant's Brown logo on it, and I would like to get a newer, cooler one.
we've been materials are short, but you have materials, and these are the ancient materials. So this is well a day.
Okay,
Can I use it?
sure.
You want another one of the same type, or would you like something a little bit upscale?
Ooh, upscale. You should get upscale. And I hit his arm.
I guess upscale.
Great. So, how do you know how to clean and care for? Because this one looks a little bit. That could be the age.
Yeah, it does. break sometimes, and I have to like fix it, and I don't really know what I'm doing, so I probably didn't fix it right. Like it misfires from time to time.
Okay. Well, I'll have to teach you how to, because I had to learn how to take care of these as well. So they're a little bit more complicated, but I can hold on to this for a bit. And yes,
How long do you think you need?
full overhaul and some of the modifications we talked about before with I how long can I have? I mean, I could get you back something functional in a couple of hours, just taking it apart, cleaning things up, reorganizing maybe. But if you want something a little bit more weighty, this might require a little bit more. Oh, if you would give me 24 hours.
I think we could do that. I don't think we're leaving today.
Amazing, amazing. And she turns and she sees Trixie again for a second, holding up the finished thing, and she just comes up and she takes her pinky and she just in the air and runs back to the space, sets the gun material in that center space, and goes, "This is a solo. Sorry, we can't play together again, but." And just as she's saying this, you hear at the door, the council's ready to see you now.
Okay. Shall we?
Okay.
Let's see you later. And I do this.
She just looks at you lost. And you remember this lost space.
Yeah. So put your hand up like this. And then I hit it. And then I look over my shoulder at Asher and I go,
I knew it would catch on. Tell your friends. It's a celebratory gesture.
Oh.
This is
She
better.
immediately goes and starts bapping everybody whose hand even gets close to raising up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Seeing Tanzanite and Veridor, she just...
It's okay. Not everyone's cool enough.
As the guard kind of ushers you out and turns, you see him raise his hand up, and you hear a little giggle and then a little quick. And the guard turns with a smile on his face. Jill's good people. The council chambers are this way.
Oh, hey, can I do a roll? Like Trixie rolled for how much money she'd accumulated in the last year. Can I do that?
Yes,
Because I
yes.
actually don't have any.
You do.
You have right now an indeterminate amount.
I do have a pocket full of forged letters just making
Yes.
me pay for things, but
You have some funds. You also have some funds distinguished based on some of the things you did over the downtime. So what I need you to do is I need you to roll 2d12s, and then 2d12s again, and then 3d12s. That rooster is going to make me nuts.
I didn't even register it until after.
11
you started
and
talking.
11.
Okay.
3 and 11. 12, 7, and 7.
Okay, so the first one is add 2 zeros to it. That's the amount in gold you have for a startup fund for the work that you were hoping to accomplish here for your private venture.
Okay, so 2,200.
Mm-hmm. That was intended to be seed money for that, for the bards. The second one is personal funds that you've accumulated over the course of various negotiations and other things like that. And the third one is funds that have been entrusted to you directly from adding 2 zeros to the end of each of those, is the funds that have been entrusted to you for the good of the realm, according to Ni, which generally has meant materials for transportation, it's your expense account. The enacting of magics, buying materials that are in that vein. Need didn't
Buying a weapon that makes me, good at defending the realm.
Yeah. Need didn't seem to have many strings attached to it, but later on, your mother came to you with an expense report and
Excel
expected
document.
you to leave detailed information on that said expense report. And you definitely felt like you had been trapped between the free hand and the other hand. It's honestly a little bit of justice right now.
I feel like I should create the expense report that Asher created and put it on Facebook.
Nice.
3 Meads, client drinks.
Yeah, but you're all walking along, and unless there's anything you would have communicated with each other, your jewelry is not going to be ready yet. But unless there's anything you would have needed to communicate with each other, you quickly make your way to the council.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and describe this council chamber, which I had notes written down.
What is the relationship between like Overton, Canyonville to this place?
Basic level that these are new allies. Additional information would require rolls of various sorts depending on what you're trying to figure out.
I'm just wondering if I need to like establish any kind of diplomatic relations, or we have that already. Since Asher has an audience with the council, like it seems like.
Roll a history check.
Mm, 26.
Of course. I forget.
500 years ago.
You know that they are developing a relationship with this space and place. That these folk are strange. They've been deep within their world for so long that very few, both between it being an island nation and being an island nation that is mostly subterranean, all of the interactions have occurred more recently with the emergence of the demi-deities, the more primordial beings who've come out, and basically the seeding of the world with a much heavier dose of magic as all of the repositories were released. This particular group was, from your knowledge, and this is where I go above the 20 here. We're going into the 20s, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. They were originally represented by a nomadic sailing group that had limited trade. And there is some upheaval for the folk here because this is all very new. This is what happened to Underton 100 years ago, when people just started showing up on their door as things on the surface had settled down and forced them to be above.
Pesky Overtonians.
Yes. So there's a bit of resentment, but also gratefulness because they've been experiencing a lot of different problems. So it's a mixed situation, whereas the Undertonians didn't really have any pressing need to ally with anyone. They just kind of got forced into it by those pesky Overtonians. These folks need the support and help, and they have skill sets that are, from, this is the 26, kind of desperately needed by Overton. The people here's ability to provide raw resources is unparalleled. Underton and Overton have access to gems and they have access to some stuff, but the raw resources needed for defense and for war, which in many people's eyes in Overton and Underton is kind of where the world is at a war, or at least on war footing. these folks have it all. These folks have what is needed. And even as I say that, you're walking up to a fortification built into the side of a cavern wall. It's almost redundant, but you walk up to what looks like a fairy tale portcullis, except it's much too robust and deeply built to give you the fairy tale side of those vibes. This is definitely a fortress of war. Oh my gosh, that rooster is going to die. And as you enter within that space, you can see murder holes and other things, and you are just generally given to understand that this might be the retreat for the people, or in the times past, a retreat for the people. But there's been some not so subtle attempts to gentrify. Tapestries placed over murder holes kind of haphazardly. Every inch of the stonework is carved, but it's carved in very angular shapes that are fairly nonsensical. Does anyone speak Dwarven?
I was just going to say, I think we found the dwarves. That just clicked. I do
Nope.
not.
I do not.
There's proficiency in languages. Nope.
So yeah, as you pass through these spaces, it's just angular geometry all around you. And there's this gaping cavernous space, and you realize you're moving into a space that is not open to outsiders. And I think Asher, from your background knowledge, and anybody else who's been connected to the overall politics of Overton in the last year, you didn't know this existed. But this chasm that exists is crossed by a myriad of stone bridges. It looks like this chasm, underground, sealed at the top, was literally carved here. And you can see that this is where the homes are. And passing through the exit that brings you out into this cavernous space, you can see various lights everywhere. And you can see that originally it was all consumed types of torches, gas torches or oil torches of various sorts. But now there's a mix of magical lighting as magic has pervaded this space. They've shifted that. But very obviously placed are two old school torch sconces with real legit flame, and two guards standing as tall as they can to an entranceway, which is framed by a odd looking and not true to life representation of the features of one of these people. And where you're walking up to it, you can see the features, you can see the eyes, you can see a bit of a nose and a mustache coming down. And where normally a mustache would just come down, this is actually framing an open hole that is the entryway that you're being led towards. There is no other features beyond this. There is no mouth. It's just the mustache frames the entry of this arched entryway. And you walk through this, and almost immediately in front of you, there is a huge anvil. And 7 individuals, 6 dressed in gold, and 1 gold in fabric, but gold in color, and 1 who seems to be more iridescent. And I think, Veritor, you recognize the material first as being platinum. And Tanzanite, you recognize the individual in platinum as one of the guises of the Lord of Flowers, so to speak. But Trixie, Asher, there is nothing to recognize here. These folks have not been in your view. Asher, no one has described these people in any of the reports that you've got, but of course you're here in one way to establish the ability to find out information such as this. But you are in this space, and one of the individuals dressed in gold sits up tall, stands, and just begins to applaud. And then the other 6 begin to applaud with them. And you can see a couple of guards off that have followed you in, off in the back, also begin to clap.
We shall always remember fondly the time we were slow clapped by the dwarf lords.
A voice strikingly high for the appearance of the individual pipes up and says, "You have our appreciation, and we have a gift for you as well as a request."
I'm gonna like put a hand here, and I'm just gonna like bow slightly and be like, "Thank you for inviting us into your chamber, honored council, and thank you for your gratitude."
No bowing. We are a council of equals. All who enter here are, and you can see them gesture off to the guard, and the guard stands very tall as well, almost following your bow for a moment, but then remembering and standing up straight.
All right.
So, first, our gift, our appreciation. It is a token, but we do realize the people you are from, and if the reports are clear, you came in one of the flying vehicles, the flying vessels. So
Yes.
hopefully you can transport this back to your people safely, and with the speed with which they have begged. And here you go. And she gestures, and 2 of the others dressed in gold kind of carefully lift a very plain looking wooden crate, but it's clearly taking some effort as their muscles are prominent upon starting to lift. You know, they seemed to be just everyday people, and then suddenly like muscles bulged all over the place as they lifted. And they bring a crate over to and set between, and then immediately at that moment, kind of the formality seems to disappear, and they just start mingling with your group. The woman who spoke and offered the gift comes up to you, Asher, and says, about that favor. And you kind of get the sense that the mood shifted really quickly to more of a, for all of you, to a cocktail party vibe.
Okay.
Just minus the cocktails, as they all seem to try to speak with you individually. And I will try to get to each of you in sequence. So I'm going to just go Asher, Trixie, Veritor, and then Tanzanite. If that's okay with you all. Okay. So Asher, she comes. The favor I was wondering is, you seem to have bona fide credentials as well as a group that is uniquely suited to the problem you so handily remedied, and we do not have the capacities for gathering intelligence in our own depths. We can send our guard en masse, but we would lose too many. And so if we could beg of you and she kind of looks around and gets an eye on each of the other 3 members of your small group, to discover what you can below. Don't engage, just help us with the lay of the land and return to us. We might better deal with this incursion. As one ally to another. And she's already like pulling out that ally card. You can see that she doesn't have time for fancy politics, and she's even struggling to be like, you are a master of charisma and twist of tongue. She's stumbling all over it. It's clear that she's used to much more gruff, straightforward talk, and she's trying to speak as she thinks you want to be spoken to.
I'm just gonna say, you know what? In the interest of our new partnership, I'm dropping like the flowery speech act after I like saw that the town council is not like lords and ladies town council. But like I think in the interest of benefiting both of our communities and just helping this general safety of the realm, I think that we would be glad to do that. Most of us, like Glenn's Tanzanite, but yeah, we'll go.
Even with that phrase, you can see that she's trying hard to, but she relaxes a little bit, but she's trying hard to follow your speech. She goes, "So you're going to help us?" And as you can see, she just fully dropped everything that she was trying to say because you can tell that she didn't understand, even as you were trying to be direct. You were less direct than she was comfortable parsing.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay. Whatever you need. We have weapons. We have armor. It'll be yours. It's basic functional gear. The smithy is kind of expensive, and we're getting to a place where we can apparently ramp up production. But the 3 proprietors of that smithy have gone missing again. Seems to be the norm for them.
I think
they
we've
have
met
a young apprentice, and she seems to be doing.
We've met her. She's doing a great job.
Oh, you've met young Jill. And you can see like just a glow of pride. She is the best of her generation.
Trixie over here made good friends with her.
And Jill looks over and sees Trixie or not Jill, sorry. The councilwoman looks over and sees Trixie. Oh, I apologize. I am Jillian. As you can probably gather from that, that's my daughter you're speaking of. So, and she kind of gestures towards where Trixie, and I'm going to transition us now. Trixie is being engaged in conversation by one of these people in gold, and they're looking at her. So where does it all grow from? And you can see he has a full beard, and he's never he full on went direct mode, and he's looking at your fur, and he's in some sort of weird combination of awe, jealousy. And he's like, "Do you trim? I see there's do you need some pomade for this section here, as you seem to have some..." You're muted.
Sorry, my chair was also squeaking, so I just kept not quite as loud, but so to answer your questions, one, wait, what did you ask again?
Your care, your maintenance. How do you achieve this? It's glorious.
I was born with it. And
like my fine. He strokes his beard.
You had that as a baby?
Oh, I was the lucky one. Genetics, well, not as well as they favor you. But why don't you grow this out a bit more?
It's not. Well, this has this especially, like, this area has a tendency to get messy, so I don't really try to do much with it.
It's the saving of the sandwiches, right? And he opens his beard up, and you can see that there's like a lunch saved in his beard. You don't.
No, but
what about? And he pulls his little
done.
mutton chops. And you can see that as he's pulling it free, it's all braided, but within the braid is encased a some sort of flask.
I mean, I really applaud your creativity. That might
Oh, I'm Rumpus. I'm Rumpus, by the way. What is your name, young one?
Trixie.
Trixie.
Yes.
You might be my new best friend. I do need to introduce you to the best pomade ever created in all this region.
I mean, I guess I'd be willing to try it, but I end up having to wash myself a lot, so I feel like it would just kind of be a waste. and I wouldn't
Oh
want to.
no, don't wash. You need to let the oil sink in and permeate the fibers so that it grows lustrous. And he starts stroking his beard again.
Okay. I would maybe feel like I could maybe do like a test patch, but obviously I wouldn't want to use it everywhere.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Here. And he again, another section of his facial hair is parted, and then there's this jar of some strange salve. It smells a little bit like one of the materials you collected in the swamp to add to your potions.
Frog spawn. Thanks. And is it open or is he just like holding out the actual
He's holding
container?
it out to you. It's closed. He's holding the whole container to you.
I'm not going to take it from him. I'm going to unscrew the top or pull the top, however it's being held, and I'm going to like dip my paw in, and I'm going to just rub a little bit between my fingers, and then I'm just going to twist the ends of the tufts on the ends of my ears so that they just kind of go out to a point, and I go, how's that?
Oh, that is fine. And he dips his hand into the pomade.
And I will roll a dex save for that.
I think he is so ready to do it that I do need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh God!
This will be a contested roll.
Oh, that's good.
Strength. Okay.
Oh dear. It's a dex save. I might have a chance. 14.
Yeah, so he's got a hold of you.
No! Oh God.
He rolled a natural 17.
Fuck.
So he grabs hold of you, and you are technically grappled.
Ah!
And he is accentuating those ear tufts. And I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Take 8 styling damage.
Well, that's a natural 19.
Okay.
So a con save or just a con roll?
Yeah, con save. Just save.
21.
Okay.
It's the same.
So you get the sense that someone with less thick skin than you would maybe have a burning feeling. And then you smell a bit of singeing. And when his hands come free, they come free, and you have a lot of extra hair coming off. And anyone who happened to witness this, and this might be the same moment when Asher and Jillian were speaking and looked over, and Asher, I'm sure you can see that magically through the salve, the hair on her ears has elongated.
No.
Oh, much better. Do you want me to get your face? And he reaches forward again.
Please, no.
Oh, well, when you're ready. And he screws it shut and hands you the bottle. Hand you the bottle.
Okay. Thanks.
And you now have 4 uses of magical hair growth. Using it will immediately cause the individual to have, if they fail their saving throw, a burning pain on the region where it's applied that is debilitating, as well as the immediate growth of over a foot in length of the hair follicles in that region.
Jesus.
If they make the saving throw, they will gain 2 feet in length of hair, but they will not experience the burning pain that is debilitating.
So, I feel like I now look like
reduce the saving throw by 5.
I feel like I now look like Salacious Crumb from Star Wars.
You can always come.
Like the way the ears are shaped.
I know what you mean now.
Oh God.
Barator, you are there. You probably catch out of the corner of your eye the councilwoman going up to Asher, this other individual who has a marvelous beard of quite some decent length, going up to Trixie. But it's hard to pay attention to that because your little jewel has all of its little components pointed at the person dressed in platinum.
Okay.
And they are looking at you across the way while one of the other figures in gold whispers in their ear, but they have not broken eye contact at all.
I will approach the person in platinum. Hello.
You are here. Finally.
Do I know who this is?
Thinking about the amount of research you've done on different beings, and this being in particular, go ahead and roll a history check with advantage.
All right. Give me a moment. History. All right. Well, that's a natural 19. History +2. That's a 21. And with advantage is another 4 for 25 altogether.
Okay, 25 altogether. I think with that 25, sorry, somebody in the comments wrote brand name Jillian as their name, which is cracking me up privately.
I believe that's my wife.
You see this individual, and it's putting the pieces together. You've met them a couple times in other forms and spaces, but not at a place or time where you could actually have a conversation with them. And just looking at their eyes and looking back, you realize this is Dad.
Father?
No, that's impossible.
Didn't I make a joke about this last time?
Yep.
Daddy!
You know you took me from my people.
Things didn't go as I had hoped. And then the world changed.
You know it's hard for me to be away from my clan.
But were they yours?
I never did feel truly like one of them. But they are what I know.
And I would have you know this clan. And he gestures to the other 6 individuals who were in the space. These are your brothers and sisters. We've held this post together for the last 400 years.
And what would you have me do? Why did you give me my source of power?
It's not so much as a gift as what one bequeaths to their children, whether you will it or not. It's in your blood. It's also that of your mother's. And you have a complicated pathway.
It has not been easy, Father.
I would invite you to join these folk as I continue to protect another enclave of the mortals. But the path you tread is your own, and I am learning.
I will join
But-
them for now, Father. But you know, Tiamat must be defeated.
I have never found battle to my taste. And while my imprisonment failed and brought across the apocalypse that removed this world from the greater weave, I find myself without regret for being such as you and them have given so much more. Perhaps I'm weary.
It is good to see you, Father. But Mother cannot be allowed to continue.
I wish that I could end it, but it is not of my nature to seek conflict.
Then I shall seek it for you.
Oh, shit.
You can see his chin tremble just a little bit, and anybody who had borne witness to this might have wondered at such a powerful being showing a moment of frailty and weakness before resolve hardens, and he responds, "You will need to take up that mantle should you remove it from your mother. I cannot claim that demean."
If that be the burden I need to bear to rid the world of her, then so be it.
He bows to you for a moment, which, given the context and the space and the description of this thing, that you've definitely transported a portion of the space. And in that moment, you, and only you, see the other 6 gold-clad beings as in their true form. And they are all like you, Dragonborn. Various scars on their bodies, various accoutrements, but it's like a shimmer. And almost like you've been pulled out of time for a moment, they all look to you at the same time, nod their heads, and you feel something at your wrist, a tingling sensation. And then that moment is over, and before you is an old dwarf dressed in platinum having a casual conversation about feeding ducks on the weekend, but with a wink and a nod in your direction, and then a pointed look at your wrist.
I will look down at my wrist.
There's a golden circlet on your wrist. It matches exactly golden circlets that you see on the other dwarven council members in this space. And anything more would require either an identify spell or a bit of time and study.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have an identify spell, so for now I will just study it, but I will look at my father and give a slight bow back.
And immediately when you do that, another of the golden-clad individuals comes up, pats you on the back, and says, "Ah, none of that here. We're all just here for each other," and
Yes, of course.
just begins a bit of a side conversation and describes the current economics situation and the need for new crops and fertilization rates of the new species of picadell. I was doing that just to be a brat. But you just kind of get this overall like change in the vibe, and I'm going to pause you there if you have thoughts about what you would. We can get to that in a moment. Tanzanite. Everybody gets engaged in conversation except for you.
Oh, poor Tansy.
And I would just like you to roll, and this is
Okay.
your god's head kind of peeking out and saying, "Hi, I'm here still." And you've had this happen a couple of times. I would like you to roll a religion check.
Okay. Come on, be good. Oh no. Fuck. 14.
Okay, 14 is decent. It's above average, which is fine. What happens for you in this space and time, and what there's this moment of space around you, is you recognize the glow of other aspirant deities that surrounds all of these individuals, and then it's kind of overwhelmed in a moment, just as you're kind of getting the sense that, oh, this is another subset of the folk that I've been trying to find and interact with, but these are the deity level, or the at least aspirant deity level folk. And there's one that you did recognize who just has overwhelming amounts of radiance and holy energy contained within their body, and that's who you notice Veritor speaking to. And you've met before, and you kind of have that moment, but you can see that Veritor and this individual are having a pretty intense looking conversation. But even as the kind of the glow washes over you, Tanzanite, one of the individuals immediately walks up to you and goes, "Ah, you are here. Ah, it's such a great experience to see you. Mum's the word. And what I would love to do with you is show you around, because otherwise I'm just another one of the unneeded. And I'll introduce you a bit." And there's just kind of this mess of words coming out of their mouth a little bit, and there is some charm to it, but overall it's just kind of a spill of dialogue and information from this person as they keep prattling on about different things, and you get introduced around to 4 of the people. Let me just really quickly find my note here, because I did have a note on this for you. Maybe I put my note in a bad spot.
Real fast, did you say this was a more male presenting, female presenting, non-specified?
It's difficult with the beards. If you want to try to see if you can figure things out, go ahead and roll a perception check. Unless you're like
Nope,
feeling
that's
enough
okay.
Space, that's weird, but
No, that's okay. I just wasn't sure if there was a obvious presenting side.
yeah, it's been strange in this space because so many of the individuals here are bearded that it kind of throws your maybe natural predispositions to things. I don't want to even call it necessarily natural predisposition things, but it's just you have the bit of confusion with regard to who and what they are.
Great,
So
cool.
let me just pull up this list here. Okay. So you are introduced to. Come on. Where is it? Good grief. Where is that? You're introduced to someone who is described as embarrassment, and they seem to blush when they're described as that. You're introduced to someone called procrastination. You're introduced to another person called indecisiveness. One named irritation. And then the person who's introducing you around and seems very chipper says, "Oh, and I'm depression. We are the 7 unnecessary inconveniences."
Shit. Okay, so sorry, I'm just
And
writing
you
my
see
notes.
that their hand gesture includes Veritor, which is odd.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. When introducing, one of the hand gestures went to him.
Not one of the hand gestures when they were introducing, but the general. You're introduced quickly in succession to embarrassment, procrastination, indecisiveness, and irritation, and you're being introduced by depression. But when they do a big broader gesture to the 7 inconveniences, they do seem to include Veritor in that. And that stands out.
Come on, computer. I'm trying to take notes. My computer's like, no, thank you. Well, it's very nice to. I'm sorry, you said 7 inconveniences? Is that just a title, or are you actually inconveniencing people?
I mean, not that we want to, but it's apparently what we do. And you've heard of the 7 deadly sins?
Yes.
Yes, we're counterparts, just like there are the 7. And he looks to you to fill in the phrase.
Yes, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So there's virtues, sins, and we are the unnecessary inconveniences.
The 7th one's name is Ice Cream Truck.
Yeah, ice cream truck, otherwise known as apathy.
Well, it's lovely to meet you all.
Oh, it's quite.
I feel
all right.
as if I may know some of you, but officially meet you.
Well, yes. We had to depart quite quickly. The trios were getting problematic, and we've decided we don't wish to be part of that complex anymore. We are going to change things for the better. So we have to convince anxiety, but I think anxiety seems to be on board. And it's at that moment that you see Veritor's conversation end with, though they don't really know that that's, oh, they've got the clasp. They will know one day soon. Ah, lovely. We're all set.
Who has a class?
Oh,
Why?
not to worry. Not to worry. We're here to take care of each other and move things to new realms. Get past the old guard. And as he says old guard, you can see his eyes just like curve straight over to the platinum dressed individual. They're lovely, but ineffective.
Why so?
Roll a persuasion check, I guess. Just to see if they're...
Persuasion. That's 13.
That's more than nothing. You get a kind of a quick dart around and then a whisper that they say, Dad doesn't really like to fight. He's more of a talker, and if he's really irritated, he'll turn you into something else. I think he turned Mom into a frog for a couple thousand years and drained all the magic in the entire world to do it.
By any chance, do you remember about how many years that was? That she was a frog.
I wasn't exactly alive. So I know that you were one of the mortals come through to this as one of the ones who was asleep. Didn't really get to observe the passage of time. You might talk to Dad about that.
I will. Thank you.
And as kind of everybody has their little moments, did anybody have anything that they wanted to follow up with the person they're talking to? Or the person that they wanted to talk to?
The other thing I wanted to do is go, hey Trixie, come here and show this nice woman your new shovel. Or not shovel. Axe, halberd, shovel. Shovelbird axe.
You're muted still. Stop muting yourself.
Sorry, just habit. It's just like clicking around and stuff. I kind of hold it protectively and I go, why?
Because this is Jill's mother.
Seriously? And then I like scurry over and I go, look what we made.
It's beautiful. What is it?
So I used to use a shovel and I liked that, but like I wanted something that could be a shovel if needed, because like that's useful, but I also wanted something that had a little bit more punch to it, to kind of, because that's what I do. So
it's beautiful, my dear. And you can see that she's just very like confused.
Oh no, I hate that feeling.
And then she kind of, ooh, and it's got quite the heft. And you see her eyes glaze over for a little bit, and kind of a golden glow comes from them. Do you
okay?
mind?
Mind what?
I'm just going to. All four of you have quite a bit to you. Oh, and that one's somehow connected. Okay, but and the glowing eyes look at you as, oh, I'm seeing the magic in the spaces here.
Oh, okay.
Do you mind if I touch your shovel hammer?
Sure, but I don't let go of it. I just kind of hold it out.
She puts her hand on it, and you can see a silvery glow pass, kind of like a scanning sort of thing, and her hand comes off. Oh, she has improved, and you can see like that pride just welling up even more.
Now, and she's really nice, which is like a big deal for me. So, yeah. So
one
that
would hope that she knew her manners.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, some people. Well, some people are really good at something. You know, that's just kind of what they focus on, and they kind of forget like how to talk to people. I feel like, you know what I mean.
But she's not like that.
No, she's not like that at all. Which is great, and I hope she stays that way, because she was so nice, and I had so much fun.
Well, you should sit with this maybe right now, because I just secured your friend, at least secured, your support in helping us investigate what's going on down below.
Is it possible to go tomorrow because Jill's actually making me a weapon right now. Just in case.
Am I hearing this conversation at all?
If not, we can go now.
I think at this point, yes, all of you are kind of gathering to this particular space.
Well,
I would also like to rest an evening before we go.
yeah, and she took his old weapon to make his new one, so he doesn't even have that anymore.
I just
So
have
it-
this. I like rattle my sword. It's not nearly as effective as my other one.
I mean, you could try throwing it.
Okay, well, we'll have to bring more of our people to bear around the current space and increase our patrols in case other...
I mean, we can definitely help with that. Like we can help keep watch and everything because we do that anyways.
I
But
think I could close the hole.
Oh, but it's
well,
for now.
then how do we get down?
the new ones.
think
that
I
I'm
could open
worried
it
about. And
again.
then also, yes, how do you... Oh, okay.
Why don't we rest like near that area and then like I don't know about our you up there, but
Veritor.
referring to Veritar.
I just look down like,
Hi. Nice to see you again. But I'm like happy to like just camp out there and keep watch, like in turns. I think that we can maybe set up a little camp or something right near there. Then, you would know that they're not coming through that way, or if they do that, we're, right there.
for now, where you go, I go.
Wherever you go, we're gonna get through it together.
All right, so I'm going to give a little bit of information while you all check private chat. So things wind down and the individual council members seem to disperse as things are going on. And I'm just... you kind of make your way down to the space, set up a little bit of an encampment. Asher, you do whatever you choose to do, whether you want to close it or leave it open. There is a posting of guards all around that space. And it definitely has a sense that most of the citizenry has put themselves up. The only sounds throughout the night are sounds coming from the blacksmithy. And it seems like there was a double guard set around that. So that kind of all happens. So you kind of get settled in, get ready for the night, and with that, we are not going to do a break. We are just going to power through like mad people, but we are going to take a pause for our interim stuff. So I'm going to hit our little musical thing, just have a musical break there, and we will go to our commercial via Andy. So first, a little ridiculous audio interlude. Mostly so I can find this later on. And we're back.
Yay!
Hello.
So, unless anybody needs me to riff for a moment to give them a chance to be ready, are we ready for our commercial?
I am ready.
So I'm going to do the whole playing with the drag and drop thing. Oh, I just played too much. I got excited. I got to touch buttons.
All right.
Take it away, Andy.
Oh, no. Did you just realize you have an important place to be, but you look like death and have no clue what to say? Then POD Technologies and Publishing has the only bundle that will do. With a Tanzanite tiara and a copy of Asher's Words of Wonder, you'll be the hit of the evening. Well, Tanzanite tiaras are handcrafted from only the finest of materials and infused with just the right amount of magic to give you that perfect air of mystery as shadows seem to wrap around you. You'll feel like a goddess or a god in any room full of mortals. Of course, now that all eyes are on you, they're hanging on your every word. We'll avoid mushmouth by reciting some inspiring words written by the master bard himself. Asher's Words of Wonder contains haikus that will do no matter what the occasion. So don't perspire when WoW allows you to inspire. Well, still not sold? We'll leave you to decide with a bit of bardic inspiration. A Tanzanite tiara, a copy of Words of Wonder, the perfect bundle.
Nice. That was really good. That was nice.
So good.
That is awesome.
Just imagine
See?
waking up to that at like 3 a.m. You know, like the best love songs of
Oh
one of
god.
those.
Yeah.
One of those.
Hey.
Even the commercials are shipping Asher and Tanzanite now. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Yay!
Well, I got a little bit of Trixie in last week, so I had to make sure I
Yeah.
had the opportunity to get you guys in this time.
Equal.
Equal airtime.
Quality
Well
for
done.
all.
Well done.
Well,
That
that
was
was
so
amazing
good.
and fun and appreciated.
The Tanzanite tiara and the Asher's Words of Wonder.
If we ever get really big, it'll be part of the product line.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
No, I would love to have, even if it wasn't a thing of being big, I would love to have little journals that were character based and just like drawing it out yourself. But like Asher's Words of Wonder, what a great journal to start.
Maybe Words of Wonder should be the Bard Guild name. I still haven't named it.
Up to you.
I like it.
Think. All right, so we are at the space where I wanted to just check in with folks and say, hey, are you a subscriber? Check out our various media spaces from Facebook to YouTube to TikTok and follow us and
Beyond.
like us and do
Oh, the
stuff
tic
with us.
tac.
We can also be found really quickly, and I'm throwing this on the banner for the people who are invisible. We can also be found at demisecast.com and all the podcasting platforms as Probability of Demise. So look forward to seeing you. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, or whatever your platform offers as its method of showing us that you love us, because we need proof.
We need validation.
Validation. So welcome back. I don't even have to trim this later on the middle because it's already trimmed. Love that about life. But yes, you settle in for the night, and can someone describe, or can you collaboratively describe what your encampment looks like?
I think we'll just probably throw our bags down and lay out our bedrolls like across
What?
like the edge of the square near the hole somewhere. Unless Tanzanite's gonna go find a hotel.
Yes, she would like to. She'd like to find a room with a window facing the hole, if possible.
Okay, so
She's tired of sleeping on the ground.
Tanzanite.
/ how much money do I have to afford this
Even though
room?
we've been here for a day and you've probably been sleeping in your own bed for like a year.
So why change that?
You should have brought it with.
I'm
She
not
probably did. It's
carrying
probably
it.
on the airship somewhere. But she got somebody stashed it in there, but she wasn't going to carry it out.
Oh god.
So Tanzanite, could I have you roll a investigation check as you kind of check for one of these buildings to offer you a place to sleep?
All right. Investigation. Oh shit.
Investigation.
Oh.
It's not gonna matter what my thing is. Of course, my computer is not working. Okay, here we go. 3. Jessica finds a hole, not the main hole, but another hole, and sleeps in that. Or Tanzanite.
No, you find a place to sleep.
Oh god.
It's cozy. It has a nice view. It seems very comfortable. Everybody else settles into sleep. The first hour goes by. Somebody's on watch from the guard. They say that they promise to wake you should something occur. Tanzanite,
Mm-hmm.
there's a cricket under your sleeping platform and it keeps making noise.
Ooh.
You need to have a good night's sleep. And yet this cricket keeps cricketing.
I get up and look for it.
As you get up and look around for this cricket, roll a perception check first. See if you can find it.
Come on, baby. $23.
You find the cricket, but it's not a cricket. It's small, but not small like a cricket should be small. It's about big enough to fit into your hands. So it's a very large bug. And as you look at it, especially with the 23, it looks an awful lot like the creatures you fought earlier.
Oh no.
Just tiny. And as you realize this, you hear another cricketing noise. Just beyond the wall. And then you hear another cricketing noise. And then you hear the city like a swarm of locusts have taken residence, chirrup, and erupt into mad and maddening noises.
So a few things. So it's like the size of one hand or two hands?
It's a little smaller than two hands, but it's definitely bigger than you could really hold in one hand.
Okay. In my two hands, I am slowly gonna just like crush it.
Easily enough done because it is small, and its carapace seems very soft, like it was newly hatched. But upon crushing it, you just hear the deafening racket of all of the other chirrupings all over the place. And at this point, Trixie, Veritar, and Asher, you also can hear the chirrupings all over the place.
Did I get a room with a window?
Yes, you
Facing
look
the
right over
hole?
the square. You can see the hole. You can see your friends laid out.
I throw open the window and I
You can see the guards starting to move and looking around nervously.
I will. Can I? What are the things briefly? I am going to use a second level spell slot. Tell me if I can do this. I don't know if I can. It's my first time. And I am going to Misty Step right next to Trixie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have 30 feet. So if I have whatever 30 feet gets me. So I'd love to get right next to Trixie. If not, whatever 30 feet out of that room to the hole is.
Yeah, this is kind of probably 30 feet on a diagonal. And yes, you're right there at Trixie's size. It's the kind of the mist just in the room. The room fills with mist suddenly. But then right next to you, Trixie, with all this noise happening and coming to consciousness and guards looking around very concerned and just, the general things that one doesn't want to have happening. Right next to you appears in a cloud of mist Tanzanite as she steps into place next to you.
Could you warn me a little when you're gonna do that? Jesus.
I open my hands and drop the bug, and I go, the cricket sounds are babies of what we fought earlier. All of this noise will get very large.
That's not good. Is there a way? Well, shit.
I'm gonna sit up and then hang on.
We could really use a druid right now. Somebody who talks to animals. Okay.
I'm gonna say, always here for me to pat me right on the back, my main man, Mage Hand, and then my Mage Hand's gonna appear. I'm gonna like start squashing bugs.
Roll a perception check just to see if you're able to spot these successfully and how many you're able to spot.
I would have assisted the said mage hand.
22.
22. So the mage hand starts going around, and it's you just are guiding it really well and finding these bugs. And
I will also like walk around
When
squashing bugs, like stomping on bugs.
When I see his mage hand work, I will use my mage hand cantrip to start trying to squash bugs as well.
Friends, I think there are far too many of these bugs to individually squash. We need. This is a great plan to start. We need a better one.
You see some of the guards coming up and going, "You're killing these, but we don't know what they are. What's going on? What should we do?"
They are apparently like babies of the monsters that we fought. I assume we did. We did not get our long rest, right?
No.
Nope.
Their eyes just get huge.
Did we get a short rest?
You would have a short rest.
Okay.
If you want to roll hit dice at all.
Yes, please.
You're welcome to
Yeah,
use that.
key points.
And also any short rest refreshes you can use.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
you keep no good.
But you see the guard's eyes get wide, and as you're rolling hit dice, if you need to, or anything else, the guards spread out and begin shouting out, "Hunt them down! Kill them all! Hunt them down! There's a nest of them over here! Oh, that one's quite big! Ah!" And just generally the night, or the cavern, is filled with the sounds of as various creatures are squished, and the chirping that gives them away helps guide all the efforts. And eventually, unless anybody's doing anything else,
Oh, that was so bad.
No, just walking around, mage hand squishing and stomping.
a couple of hours later, the night or the evening stillness is restored.
This is Andy's worst nightmare in real life. Andy hates
It
cricket.
is.
One of my least favorite ideas. But it is a couple of hours, and you do feel the exhaustion. But two of the guards come back and say, "We really need to handle this. If this is happening, we need to find out what's down there."
All right. Do I still hear the blacksmith going? Like she's still working on my thing?
She worked through, and then for a little bit there was a stop, and when she finally heard the crickets, because they hadn't made any noise, she's resumed working, and you can hear the strange sound of metal being turned to molten without apparent source.
Okay. All right. I guess it's stabby stab only. I'll equip my revolver. All right. Oh, I'm tired. Are we exhausted? Like, do we have exhaustion?
You're not exhausted yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat something. During my short rest, I eat.
Are you going to try to go down the hole, or are you going to try to regain your rest?
Is it pretty clear that these came out of the hole?
It's hard to tell because they seem to have gotten all over the city, and you can still hear off in the distance continued work on crushing them. So there's potential that there's additional holes.
I'm gonna say to one of the guards, like, you need to have people fan out and look for additional holes, because I think we didn't see them come out of here.
The guard that's on duty here nods. They're already on it. Good thought.
Okay. All right. Into the thick of it.
No! Oh God!
Ah.
It's been so long
As you
since I've
clamber
been in my
down
Into the
head.
thick of it. Into the thick of it.
As you clamber down into the space, your ridiculousness. You
I would like to just poke one little bug on my way by, like, with the tip of my rapier. Stab it.
I will try and be as useful as possible, but my offensive capabilities are greatly diminished at this
Yeah.
point.
I can. I think I'm still okay, but I'm gonna have to blow some spell slots to do my normal fighting because my freebies are all gone.
Maybe when we get down there, if we can find a safe place to camp. Once we see what's going on, then we can try. But
Well, she asked us
For now,
to
we
find
need to
out
go.
what's happening and not engage. So if we can maybe just be quiet and
And
get
I look-
the info
I
they
look
need.
over at Tanzanite. In theory, wearing cleric armor.
Plate armor,
No,
yeah.
plate armor.
She always described herself as wearing cloth. She does not have
Okay.
plate armor
Got it.
unless she
Squishy
changed
cleric.
that up.
No, she definitely did have
She-
plate armor before.
She did have plate armor.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
armor on, but I think it's technically scale mail, and something changed so that I don't have disadvantage anymore.
Oh, right, because of your shadows. Your shadows make you quieter.
Right.
That's what it was.
Right.
That's what it
Okay.
was.
Okay.
So like I have all my armor and stuff on, but I'm not extra loud anymore.
So I'm gonna take out my sword and then I'm gonna cast light on my sword to make it glow so that I can use it for light.
Oh yeah, because you can't see in the dark. It's all right. I also can't see in the dark. Or can I?
Or can I?
She puts on her goggles of night vision of dark.
And then I
vision.
accidentally stare at the sword and I go, ah! Oh, forgot.
All right.
Sorry.
So
Wasn't my fault that time.
with the sword of light, you will not be able to stealth.
Oh,
So, how are you all working to make this approach into the dark, and in what order are you walking?
who wants to go first?
Well, why don't I go first and then I can use these. And then,
Okay. Do you want to go like a few feet ahead so you can warn us if I need to turn off my light?
yeah.
You
I'm-
also could go in the back.
I
In
could-
Just
case anything
because
attempts to sneak up on us.
okay. That works too. I just either way is fine. I'm
Give me
trying
the
not
marching
to be-
order.
I'm trying not to be Vitality, who always brought up the rear to make sure nobody was left behind.
I'm gonna put Trixie out front like 20 feet so that she can look off into the dark farther. And then I will take up the back with the light. So however, whichever way you two want to go in the middle, go for it.
After you, and I point to Tanzanite. Kind of do
Wonderful.
that after you.
I will go second.
All right, so the marching order is Trixie, Tanzanite, Veritar, and then Asher.
And I pipe up from the front and I go, statistically, it's the safest place to be.
And then Trixie hits a landmine.
I got your reference there, Trixie.
So as you go in, I'll have Trixie, who's just outside the bubble of the light, but the
What
light
happened to
is
our names?
obvious down the tunnel, because even
It's
though
a different format.
it only gives you a bit of the visual space, you can, depending on how far ahead you get, you can attain stealth at different points. When you're within 20 feet, you're not going to be able to get stealth,
Okay.
because you're too close to the source of the light and it's casting on you. But
I will
if you,
attempt to stealth, but it's not my forte. It's not my specialty.
So as you wander down into the spaces,
Speaking of guests
Below.
we should have on this show. Sorry.
maybe
Guests.
guest. emphasis.
Okay,
on that.
sorry.
So you go down into this space and Tanzanite, roll a perception check since you're up front with.
No, Trixie.
Or Trixie, sorry, Trixie, roll a perception check.
22.
The first 200 yards, 300 yards, 400 yards, it's nothing. No obvious signs of anything other than the dragging of debris back and little side tunnels that turn out not to be so much side tunnels, but just places that were excavated and then repacked very firmly with the remaining material. And there's a bit of nervousness as you go through because you realize how weak this tunnel is structurally. It's not truly a reinforced tunnel like what you had experienced up above or what you've seen in Underton. This is a very raw excavation. And you can see places where the ceiling is collapsing bit by bit, slowly dribbling down dirt. And you can see places where it did collapse in various points and was then enlarged and expanded and then continued to collapse. So it's a little bit frightening in terms of all of that. You get a little bit further along and you see the beginnings of what looks like more complicated tunneling, a bit of a hive or an ant mound sort of experience, if you'd ever seen the internal structure of an ant mound. And at the border of that space, there's just too many choices, too many directions to go.
I would like to examine the ground to see if I can look for fresh air tracks to see if, or maybe like do like between that and a sniff test to see if I can either sense like.
Do your goggles
Like-
see heat, or they just see?
No, it's just essentially it is essentially gives me night vision
Okay.
or dark vision.
Yeah, dark vision. So you could you go ahead and roll an investigation check and a survival check.
Okay.
You will have to pass both of these for it to work.
It's cocked. First one's a natural 20.
Woohoo!
So was that your
That was the investigation.
okay?
Natural 20.
And then this is what's the other one? Survival?
Survival, yeah.
That is a nat 1.
Oh no!
A literal crit fail.
I don't even know how to do this. 'Cause I want both pictures up there.
Oh no!
There is no middle ground with me.
What was the
Okay.
20 on? What was the skill check for the 20?
Investigation. I should have used the same dice.
So
I should have used the same one.
I think you find in your search tons of tracks, and you know that there's way more of these adult-sized creatures than you've fought. There's just too many tracks in this. In terms of your and actually, honestly, because you rolled a nat 1 or not 20 on that part, I'll say that you get a rough estimate and you think that it's somewhere in the 200s.
Okay.
The next thing that happens is you try to interpret and figure out if there's a directionality to this. And you can't figure it out. There are 3 paths that look likely. And then you sigh in frustration. And as you sigh in frustration, you feel a breeze coming from the left one.
Well, okay. So, and I turn around and I wait for the rest of them to catch up. So, good news or bad news first?
Bad news.
Agree.
Agreed.
There's a lot of them.
Like how many?
Best guess, 200.
Oh boy.
Bad. Well, good news is that could be good news. There's a breeze from. Let's see. Okay. I want to do left, even though it's my right hand. From the left corridor. I don't know if that means that just leads back up to the surface, or if if it leads to them. So take discuss.
I mean, if there's 200, I'm not sure we actually want to find them, especially when we're in this shape.
Well, I guess the other option is we could camp here, and maybe.
I mean, if there's a lot of tracks like they're moving through here, that doesn't seem very safe.
But I mean, we'll probably hear them coming.
Hey, is there like Overton guards on or Canyonville guards on the airship?
The complement that generally travels with Trixie includes some of her healing metacore folk and one or two more clerical members of the military complex for obvious reasons. The only other individuals that are there there's a scribe that is oddly obsessed with tanzanite, quite useful, but clearly has not seen reason to part tanzanite's side. And and Dawn, Fawn.
Okay.
Fun.
Fawn.
Yeah. I think we should go back to the surface. I will fix the teleportation circle, and we should get help.
Are you saying let's do get help?
Yes, I'm saying let's do get help.
I think we should try and block these holes, passages, if we can.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay. Do we want to try this new way out, or we want to go back the way we came?
Well, okay. So if we're not going to try to find them, at least by going down like the non-breezy section, let's close those two spots and then go the other way and see where that leads us, but maybe not close that yet in case we need to come back.
Would a breeze not imply that air is coming from the surface somewhere?
I mean,
Is it a cool breeze or a warm breeze? It could just be an underground air pressure differential.
Or it could be it could be them moving and like causing a disturb. Like there's, it was just so muddled. I didn't really. Sorry, fruit fly.
Spider web fell down in the
Apparently, a good way to catch fruit flies is not apple cider vinegar; it's white wine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then they just drown because they're drunk.
Me too, fly.
Are they not just making sure? Are they not still the small ones?
I don't think so. Not from the tracks.
I mean, do you think we should go look and see if we can find them? I don't. That seems unnecessarily dangerous.
Yes, if there's 200 of the big ones, that's a very different.
Okay.
It was quite the challenge to bring down 3.
Yes.
Let me see.
Do we not have? Do we or the people of this town not have? Like, the thing that started all this, Trixie, that you were holding, and it kind of went, and a big fire sort of erupted.
Yeah.
Do we not have something like that? That we could just
like a bomb?
Is that the word for it?
Bomb. I guess there's 2 problems with that. Everybody else is up there, And if we make a hole down here,
Oh,
Yeah, we could
yes.
collapse everything.
I wonder if there's a way
Yes.
to
Mm.
like to do the opposite though, to like fill it all in. And maybe
Well, they clearly have digging abilities, so
right, but
It would
like
slow them down.
yeah. But they have digging abilities through Earth.
Hmm.
What if do we know if they can swim?
Hmm.
Or maybe something else. Maybe we can come up with some kind of substance or something, or maybe like a gas or something specifically to kill the bugs.
I'm
Mhm.
going to take a moment to just
Mhm.
listen and look around as I realize we've been talking here for a bit.
Okay, we'll go ahead and roll a perception check.
As we do.
One moment. Skills. That is a natural 18 plus 2 is 20. Dirty 20.
Yeah.
As
Let's
your new
go.
compatriots have this conversation and seem to be brainstorming and throwing out ideas, you listen. You're used to subterranean spaces. You've been in them before. This is where, honestly, a bit better cared for, a bit better structured, stone instead of dirt. But this isn't terribly unfamiliar. You've been in spaces that were worse.
What are
You,
what's that?
This bag, I'm sorry.
you it's so funny, like people mute themselves when they're laughing, which I would love to have on the podcast, and then people don't mute themselves when they're making squeaky chairs.
Calm down.
Brats, all of us. And I'm probably one of the worst offenders. I have a stinking rooster in the background. So
You should just bring it inside. Just let it
you-
howl at us in person.
It's so loud. You don't see any indications of those same creatures. They don't seem to have been drawn to what's going on.
Okay.
And you're fairly confident in that assessment.
Sounds good. For the moment, I believe we are safe.
I'm fairly confident I can block this tunnel if you want to just do that for now.
Which the two out of the three that didn't have the fresh breeze?
I mean, if I block that way, then don't I block both of these?
However,
If I block roll the
You
foot.
came out of one tunnel to three branching tunnels.
Okay.
And I believe Asher is sitting there pointing to the main tunnel you came through as block the main tunnel.
Oh,
Am I
wait,
correct
no.
or incorrect?
No, I misunderstood. Sorry. I thought. Okay.
So you came through the one tunnel that was under the marketplace,
Okay.
and you came to a complex space with lots and lots of different branching tunnels that Trixie could see and see that there was interconnections down deeper throughout that space, like coming into an ant hive. But you're at the place where this tunnel first joins that complex.
Okay. So
you could block the tunnel that you're in.
I think I can block. I could block one tunnel. If I'm going to fix the teleportation circle, I need to save a little juice. I think I can block one. Maybe two.
Well,
if we do this, though, they might recognize that and swarm. I have no idea how they react.
Should we just get out of here?
I think we get out, camp near the entrance again, try and regain our strength.
All right.
yeah, maybe check on the progress of the squishing.
They did only want us to look, correct? We can let them know that we know there is a larger contingency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we have an estimate of a number.
And we can message Overton. I could fix a circle. Maybe they can teleport us some help. or Canyonville or someone. Let's do that.
Okay.
Either way, the longer we're here, the better chance we're discovered.
So you're turning around and marching back up?
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome. Trying to be stealthy or trying to be just quick?
Well,
Quicker?
I'm gonna let's switch. This time I will just because I can see a little bit farther than you can. So since you know the way back is in theory clear, you lead the way and I will take up the rear, and I'll keep an eye on our
Okay.
over our shoulders.
It's easily enough done. You all make your way back up. Every once in a while, Trixie, as you look behind, you worry that you've seen another creature, just to realize that it's dirt continuing to drip from the ceiling and fall and collapse as the temporary nature of this more naturalistic structure deteriorates over time. And you make your way back up. And you make your way back up to the woman, Jillian, and Jill standing right next to her, kind of dark rings under both of their eyes, and a bunch of guards just covered in bug gore. And Jillian speaks up. So we saw you went down. We weren't sure if you were... did you find out anything?
Yeah, it's not great. There's footprints for, like, it looks like a couple hundred.
Very loud.
What?
You're very not to you
fine.
guys, just to me. Okay, sorry. Maybe it's just mine.
Um,
Sorry.
There's footprints for a couple hundred of those things down there. We
The
didn't
adult
want to.
size.
Yeah, we didn't want to go any further in the fear of being discovered, especially when we're
How
not.
certain are you that there's only a couple hundred?
Pretty certain. Like, at least in the area. Well, in the area we were in, that's what's moving around in there. We don't know if there's more down.
We
further
didn't.
down.
This pretty certain is generous. We didn't see any, but there were a lot of tracks. So
Okay, and you believe that there's around 200. So that must have been quite immense. Okay, the situation down below there. What is it like?
Branching
treacherous
tunnels.
Branching tunnels.
Yeah, there's the tunnels themselves are not shored up in any way. They're kind of precarious.
Can you sketch out the layout that you were able to traverse?
Yes. I'm gonna take out my book and do that.
You see her raise her hand and just snap, which is kind of funny in a more egalitarian space for someone to do that. But apparently, during times of this nature, she takes charge, and one of the guards immediately snaps up and says, "Summon the garrison. We can handle this one." And that person turns and marches off. And as she kind of looks over your shoulder, she just starts saying, "Well, thank you. This is something we could never have done. We're not the most subtle of folk."
Do you need any help? Like, I think we can
if you
bring
if you
some
can
additional
hold off
help.
and if you let us rest, we can also help. And then as a side note, I point to the left cavern or left hole, whatever, and I say a breeze did come from here, but I wasn't able to discern whether it was fresh air or just air sifting or pressure change, but
We know tunnels. We don't know subtlety. So, and as she says subtlety, you hear loud clanking, and then you start to see row upon row upon row of the people of this space dressed in full plate mail.
okay, wait. Just in case I'm wrong about the numbers, can we just get more people? Can you just hold off?
And you see the first row of 20 go in, the second row of 20 go in, the third row of 20 go in, the fourth row of 20 go in.
I've got
You
a
look back up the
bad
cavern
feeling about
walls,
this.
and you see rows and rows and rows of these individuals. Loud, clearly obvious. Then comes 6 carts filled with shoring materials. and additional rows and rows of people. And standing there while she continues to confer and share your map and copies are made, you realize that about 4,000 people just went into the tunnel.
I can't.
I am gonna take while this is happening, kind of looking to see that everybody else has it
4,000?
under control, and I'm gonna be studying the gold bracelet.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll a Arcana check and then a religion check.
Arcana. Well, that's
but-
a natural one right there for the Arcana check. And then you said, what a
Religion check, but it doesn't
religion
matter
check.
anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say that's just to
the
see.
combo
That
rolls,
would have
they
been
hurt.
a little better at 16. Well, 14 plus the 2, but yeah, natural
what
one.
I can say is that
Welcome to the club,
it's
bud.
very distracting to have 4,000 clad in full plate marching by while you're trying to investigate something. Not exactly a conducive environment.
Guys, I don't think I can let them go. Like, none of them have fought one of these. Like, I don't think I can
I
in
think-
good conscience let them go.
Excuse me. Were any other holes located? I know you were looking.
We found small holes.
How
Have you
small?
fought?
They've been sealed.
Have you fought these things before?
No, this is something quite exciting to us. Something
They-
new, and a chance to prove that we'll be worthwhile to our alliance.
The eyes, the eyes, the eyes. Somebody tell them about the eyes.
One
I'm
of
just
the people
like-
conferring with her
Oh.
looks over to you and goes, "We saw what you saw. We're aware."
I know, but like, they don't look. I'm really sorry, but they don't look like people that are just gonna like. They look like lambs to the slaughter. They just look like they're just like. Are you planning on just overwhelming them by sheer force of numbers?
You can roll a perception check, or not perception, an insight check.
I feel like my perception of 4,000 heavily armed, plate armored dwarves is probably not that they are lambs to slaughter.
That's a net one.
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
I think that the
It's all
other
right.
three of
I started
you,
it.
the other three of you see Tanzanite panicking and not reading the room.
Trixie.
Trixie.
Or Trixie, sorry.
Sorry.
I'm doing that, the TT thing.
I know, I'm
still
sorry.
confusing me. You see the expressions of the people who are still up here with you changing from, at first, shared concern to tolerance to outright offense as Trixie continues to share this, but Trixie doesn't pick up on it.
I'm going to be like, Trixie, can I talk to you for a minute?
What? I'm trying to freaking protect them. Like, if this is new to them, they need as much info as they can, right?
Right, but I think that we hadn't fought them before either, but we're sort of experienced. I think these are experienced warriors as well. I think they'll be okay. Like they're good at tunnels, much better than we are.
Well, fine. Then it's
I
off
think
my
we can
hands.
wait. We can wait, get some rest, and if they need our help, we'll go.
Yeah, but
I'm
by
gonna-
then it could be too late.
I'm going to chime in as well and just look and go, my little friend, I think you need to understand your concerns are not helping the situation. And then kind of pick her up.
Oh,
and make her
hell
look
no.
around.
Oh, hell no.
Okay,
Uh,
you got
Nope.
picked up. What is your reaction?
no,
to
no, no.
this?
I would have attempted to like manipulate that and flip him if I could have.
Okay, this is fun. So, Andy, you're going to do an athletics check.
Okay.
Trixie, describe to me what you're going to try to do when he seeks to pick you up.
You have to understand. ANDYFAN knows this may not be good. Veritar, not so much.
Veritor is clueless about this. Yeah.
I guess it depends on what angle. Like if
13.
Are you trying
he,
something
like-
more
like, are you
using
straight in
force
front of
against
me?
force, or are you trying to more escape?
I'm essentially trying to like lever like the fact that he has to lean down to pick me up, like his center of balance
Okay,
is
so
high
athletics
as a
check,
result.
please, from you as well.
13.
Okay, what dice to
Got to beat a
use?
13.
One of you has betrayed me.
Oh, I would so laugh if you nat one to this. This would be the
I
worst.
didn't nat one it, but what is it? An athletics?
Yeah.
Athletics. It's only a 10.
So yeah, you go to do your move, but you're just caught off guard because nobody
lucky
in
I
quite
rolled
a
a 4.
while has picked you up. And you, Veritar, have this squirming squirrel who almost kind of like tried to pull you over, but you caught them off guard, and you realize that I think there's enough common sense in the world that you realize you've just picked up a poisonous snake of a sort.
Ye down.
I am so sorry. And I will put her down. And I just wanted you to be aware of what is happening.
I understand, but sometimes a blunt weapon is better than not at all.
And as you say that, I think Asher and Tanzanite, if you were paying attention to this interlude, you may have only caught a little bit of it, but you can hear the council person speaking with what looks like 5 other people that are circled around her, and she is apparently giving orders, and they are standing there silently. And then every once in a while, one will speak up and say, "First kilometer shored, engagement in second kilometer over, no casualties." And then another person will speak up, but it's very short phrases. Anybody who's curious about what's going on can roll me. I think Tanzanite could, and I think Asher could, and Veritor might be able to. I just don't know spell list as well.
I
roll an
am
Arcana check to figure that out.
focused a bit on trying to
Not
placate.
being killed by a small squirrel.
22.
Yeah, so yeah.
22. Asher, you realize right away that they are using sending of messages, similar to what you've had to do with sending stones. And these 5 seem to have dedicated themselves to that practice. And with the number of messages going off, you're realizing that they are fairly skilled practitioners of magic. Maybe not to the same level you are, but they're decently skilled.
I rolled a 19, and I'm definitely, as soon as I hear the word casualties, my brain immediately goes all to that. And just focusing on that and like slowly, maybe like slowly making my way towards the cavern. Not going in.
I'm gonna walk over to like the
Draw.
one who's in charge.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over to the one who's in charge and be like, "So, you're confident that this is just a mere peccadillo and not something more serious, right?"
I'd like to go to the referee on that one.
I would like a vote on whether or not that was egregious or legit.
I got to go with his character style. I could see that being a word he would know, and
I don't know if the usage is correct though.
Yeah, it is. Look it up.
Yeah, it's
Say it again. Say what you said.
I said, are you confident this is a mere peccadillo or something, and not something more serious?
yeah, it's actually.
I literally Googled
Yeah.
how do you use peccadillo in a sentence before I constructed that sentence.
I understand. I'm just saying, like,
I love
colloquially,
this
that's not how I feel like that's not how it's used. You know, it's I get okay,
I-
fine. I mean,
I
sure.
think I'm gonna grant the
I think the master of words would know.
word there, but you
You would think.
think. And in
I do words.
this space and in this moment,
You do words good.
Real good.
I think you gain the information that they do consider it to be a major event, but a major event that they have well in hand and an opportunity for them to finally apply the last 5 years worth of work.
Okay. All right.
I think the sense you get, and I think Trixie, even as you see how things are going, they might be green, but they're very well trained, and they were itching for an opportunity. They just didn't want to throw their lives away by going down without any information. and your group provided the information they needed. And,
Okay.
Where is
Very-
the teleportation portal in relation to this town square?
You're aware that it's part of the town square area. This is a sectioned off area, especially now that you've been back to the council chambers, that this is kind of what they've turned into their public facing front for their community.
Okay.
And it's in this space.
I'm gonna ask like a guard. I'm like, hey, where's your teleporting circle at?
Oh, that thing that they're trying to, it doesn't work yet. They haven't figured it out. But,
I know they sent me here to fix it.
Oh, well, and it kind of gestures off in a general direction. Do you need somebody to go with you? We're tied up, but
I'll be fine. Just is it in a building or will I see it?
It's outside. We decided to build fortifications around it.
Okay, I'll find it.
Facing in.
Also, was Jill there with my gun?
She did not have your gun when she was saying next to her mother. It was very clear that this was an interruption in her work. And she is still at the smithy.
Is that Serenity?
Chewing the bone. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh,
Just
that's
trying to
cute.
figure it out.
So yeah, you those of you who are on the audio only version of our things, we get to hear a cute dog eating a bone. So
Give a dog a bone.
I think what happens, I mean, Trixie probably, it's up to you how much you stay for the updates, because that's there's a kind of a command central happening up here with orders being executed, and it's clear that they are refining strategy as they go too. You do hear Tanzanite occasionally, tragedy on the west wall, it collapsed. We lost 2 of our builders, recoverable. And then an hour or so later, 2 individuals come out on stretchers, wounded but not dead.
Can I assist with, like, at least triaging?
Oh, yes. Actually, the fact that you start to do that and providing care, go ahead and roll a medicine check.
Okay. Which one's gonna fuck me over next? Oh, okay. Medicine, you said?
Yep.
That is a 26.
Nice.
And she's back.
I think what happens is this niche of caring for the victims, and more come out over the course of the night. They hadn't planned how to handle the casualties other than to get them out and then to let nature take its course. And quickly, once they realize what you're doing, they assign some of the available guards or a couple of the people who are engaged in sending messages when they are exhausted their abilities to assisting you, but also they're taking notes on what you're doing, because this was not part of something that they planned.
Right.
And,
Can I send one of them as a runner to the ship to grab my colleagues? to help?
Easily enough, yes.
Okay.
I would, with a 26, I don't even think you have to roll a persuasion check. They're seeing you do effective work. They send someone off to get them. And it takes a little bit. Your colleagues are not used to summons in the middle of their night. So they take a bit to get there, but especially from a strange person. But eventually they make their way, and quickly a field hospital based on your Medicore planning. And in some ways, it's a little bit of an opportunity for you to enact some strategies. And yes, recruit. So if you are going to recruit, I would just like you to roll a general persuasion check with advantage due to the service you're providing.
I mean, I guess it's less of like a, hey, you should join us, and be like,
No,
hey,
just,
if you want your people to be able to do this too, like
it's just the
you too
persuasion
can
check
prevent
is
forest
for the-
fires.
for
Natural 20.
Nice.
4,000 troops march back out of the hole and join the Medicore.
Mwah. Sorry. I got excited. Wait, did we freeze or is Rick?
No,
just...
Rick's
Oh
typing.
no, I feel like. See, the problem is when Rick goes quiet, you seem like it would have.
And with this act and in this moment, healers and smiths share the limelight as valued members of this particular sect of dwarven society.
God dang it!
Awesome.
I keep changing. Butterfly effect. Ah!
Trixie's bad at the Prime Directive.
Yeah.
She does not prime directive.
Remind me to never play a Star Trek RPG.
Tanzanite. Before the announcement is made, you 5 souls cut off suddenly. You don't feel it in yourself, but you feel it because of that God's head within you that is seeking out its future. You can tell when that happens. And just as you feel that burst of warmth, you hear 5 down, collapse on the side tunnel. We're sealing it off. And about 3 hours later, 3 stretchers shrouded come to the surface. A few injuries as well. And then there's a moment of silence from everything, and you hear, the last tunnel has been finished. Do we collapse it, or do we reinforce? And there's a moment of pause, and you can see several of the kind of exhausted now command structure of the dwarves. Not the council member. She has stepped back in this moment, and she's actually standing next to you, Veritar. And one of them says, "We honor our dead, and this is now ours. We will make those tunnels a memorial to them." And probably just Veritar, maybe Tanzanite if you're listening closely, but you've been distracted by that departure. You hear, they're ready to be on their own. I'll miss my daughter and sons. And she turns and walks back towards the council chambers. Quickly, things wrap up. Not all of the people who went in come out. It's apparent that some are standing guard and searching out every last little scrap of potential incursion. But you gather that the battle was won. The injured are quickly collected by families. The sheer number of folk that you see lets you know that this is a much more extensive space than this particular area or even the council chambers gave clue to. And you hear some conversations from folks departing saying, "Oh, I hope I'm assigned to the task of turning those into spaces. We have been cheek by jowl." And other commentary that sounds like this is a fortuitous discovery as well as a terrible event, in that they needed to expand for comfort. But the night wraps to a close. Everybody's exhausted, and truly you will have a point of exhaustion if you don't take a nap. But it is a new day, and this is where I would like to leave us off. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you all.
We will talk about whether or not we're going to be able to have you in again. Our next session, as I said in the beginning of this, is not going to be our traditional session. We are going to take a break from our story of Atland and the shenanigans of Asher, Trixie, and Tanzanite. And we are going to have a fun one-off time on October 5th for a special one-shot using Kids on Bikes. That'll be at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern Time the night before New York Comic Con. Also, we will begin our winter schedule using Sundays. We will begin that on October 16th, so we'll come back to this story here and kick ourselves off. And we hope to fill your Sunday afternoons every week, rather than every other week. Every week at 12 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Central, and 3 p.m. Eastern. Please, please, please take care of each other. Go support your local spaces. Give us a like and subscribe if you would like to extend that love to us as well. And
share with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Bye.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye.